Tonight I have with me Dr. Carl Tinkelman, who's best known as the dentist for the Philadelphia Zoo.
We'll be speaking with a man who spends a lot of time in the lion's den, actually peering into Leo's mouth.
What do you find when you look around in a lion's mouth?
You can put your whole arm and your head in there.
What happens if a lion has to have a root canal? We have a doctor that practices on human beings. He's a dentist, and he also does root canals on lions and tigers and gorillas.
Doctor, what's it like to put your hands inside Leo's mouth?
And he would run up to the cage and scream, and that's how I wasn't gray until then. They can close their mouth very rapidly and with a lot of strength. All four elephants, and they all crowded around us, and they were going to squash us. And
On purpose, you think?
yes, on purpose, for sure.
This entire whole area of the skull is filled with muscle tissue. And that's where it gets its leverage to close its mouth. Boy, it's good you don't get your finger caught in there, huh?
When I first started about 40 years ago, there wasn't anyone doing animal dentistry. Now most zoos have dental consultants work for them. The first event that we did was covered by about 50 news people all crowded into a room. It was very hot in the room. We were all very frightened because we didn't know what we were doing. And every 2 seconds the reporters would yell out, "Pause, look up, do this, do that." The animal was getting very overheated, so we had to pack it with ice to keep it calm. It went all over the world.
We did the first animal, the first tiger. Everything, there was nothing written and nothing explained, so we had to make instruments and go blind into it. I thought everything would be similar. You're a dentist and you know how to do fillings and clean teeth, but it wasn't like that at all. It took about 6 hours to do the root canal, which now takes about 45 minutes.
In the old days, the anesthetics that they used were very unstable, and they didn't have time to look in their mouths. And they would get infections, and they wouldn't know why, but they would get it from bacteria in their mouth. Animals would die. I've been very lucky to have this position. I have recognition in the city that I treat the animals. I love doing it every single time. Every day, the keepers report to the vets of each animal in their care. If anything out of the ordinary happens, they report it to the vet, and then they're examined. The mongoose that we saw today is a small primate. They're in quarantine now. They just came from another zoo, Prospect Zoo, I think Donna said. And they're very young, so their teeth were perfect, and I hope they stay that way. And these mongoose should be fine. They get a variety of fruits and vegetables. They should maintain their health.
This is the part that you see in the mouth
Right.
of the lioness, and this part here is the part that's below the gum line.
Right.
And you can see the opening right in here. That's the nerve of the tooth. This canal goes up to about this long, about 6 inches longer, and it gets a lot wider.
Just to give people an idea, when you do a root canal on a human, you said 6 inches is how long the instrument would have to be, which you have to make yourself.
Yes, I make myself.
Humans might be 25 millimeters.
This part here
That's amazing.
was in the bone. This
Wow.
tiger was one of the largest tigers in captivity, Siberian. He weighed almost 600 pounds. And this part of the tooth came down to here.
And at the time, there wasn't any materials to work on a tiger's tooth in human dentistry, so I had to create some.
But to treat a tooth that's this big, these are normal human instruments. Obviously, they're much too small to fit in here. So I designed these instruments using human instruments and making on an orthodontic wire and soldering it in place.
But I've had animals like a gorilla wake up and sit up while I was doing root canal on the gorilla, and he just sat up right up in the chair, and we had to hold him down until he got more drugs. I try to stay close to the entrance of the cage so I can run out first. I'm the oldest, so I used to run out first. Sometimes the cats will growl and roll their eyes and try to move. And I have a metal spring that keeps their teeth open, their jaws open, and they've even been bent. While I'm treating them, they can bend them. They're that powerful.
Well, a human's jaw is connected here in the middle. This side is connected to this side, but in a snake, there is no juncture here so that the right side and the left side can act separately and in different directions.
Split apart. Is it
Split
elastic then? It stretches.
Yeah, they're just ligaments here, so they can open their mouth to swallow a very large animal like a rabbit or anything larger than that even.
I used to come every week to the zoo, and even if I didn't do dentistry, I would shovel poop, or I would pick up, I would carry the bags of the vet, help set up for the animal's examination.
It's exciting to be so close to a lion or a tiger or a gorilla and put your hands in his mouth, hold his head, pet him.
I just love being here. It's a wonderful place. They take very good care of the animals. It's important that a human being brushes their teeth and sees a dentist regularly, and just it is for the animals to see me.